Hello, everybody. We have Mr. Manish Sisodia amongst us. He's the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi. Hello, sir, and welcome to BW Business World. Okay, so let's just start with some of the new ventures that the Delhi government is looking into these days. Can you tell us about what is being done specifically in the education sector?
In education, we have been working hard for last 6-7 years in Delhi, and especially in the sector of government school segment, where we have improved infrastructure and then teachers motivation, teacher trainings. Now CBSE results have touched the highest possible, that is 99-100% pass outs. So now we are improving on the focus on entrepreneurship. We have just introduced this program called Business Blasters. Business Blasters is a program where we are giving our students 2,000 rupees per student. They can form their own groups and they can then invest that money into some idea, innovative idea, and then they can earn from that. So we are like promoting them, we are inspiring them to become successful entrepreneurs. That is the whole purpose of this program. And recently we had a pilot of this project, and we found that all the students coming from poor families, coming from very low middle income background where there is no one doing business, actually did very well. They have made a lot of profit out of it.
Why the appeal to entrepreneurs right now when we are focusing on primary and secondary education? Why should we make the leap to something which is a full-fledged career?
No, we are not asking them to leave the career. First of all, we are not asking them to definitely become entrepreneurs. We are working on their mindset. And everybody who is coming out of education, either coming for a job or coming for doing business, needs entrepreneurial mindset. So joblessness is one problem. Then second problem is the development of the country. As I say, that we are not investing just into the study of our students through the seed money. This is the seed money for the economy of the country. When we get lots of entrepreneurs, then we'll have best of the best companies in our country, and then we'll have best of the best economic scenario in our country. That's why we are working on it.
Okay, so but entrepreneurship is something that people learn on the job. Conventionally, there have not been too many courses on it. So how is Delhi government planning to take in or rope in the appropriate manpower to teach the students?
No, the students are learning on their own. They have ideas, they have seed money, they have opportunity to invest, they are investing and they are learning from that. I'm not saying you start a business for your life, but you start a business for maybe for a shorter period and then you learn from it. Even if you fail, you learn from that. If you succeed, you can take it forward or you can leave it during the course of your study. But for a shorter time, become an entrepreneur, learn from it and contribute and be ready. Prepare yourself to become a partner in the country's economy. Because if you are not adding value to the country's economy, then you are not an asset for the country.
Right, that's true. I read an interesting quote somewhere that anybody who's going out there and working is an asset to the economy or spending money in any way or any fashion. So yes, sir, I completely agree with you there that being a part of the economy is pivotal, and the job scenarios are, of course, as we know, very sparse. So having said that, can you tell us about a few success stories that have emerged from the pilot project that you were running?
You see, we started this entrepreneurship mindset curriculum 2 years back. Then COVID came in between and schools were not functioning that way, the way it should be. So we started this seed money. Seed money project is one of the component of the entrepreneurship mindset curriculum. We started this year. A few months back, we started this pilot, and where in one school, all the students were offered that we'll give you seed money. You come with your ideas. They came with their own ideas, and many of them were innovative. Many of them were little conventional, but students were ready to do the legwork of business planning, research, raw supply. They did everything on their own. They made their own groups and they did all the legworks. And a set of 2 students who made one group, they took 2,000 from the system, that is us, that is school, seed money. And they did some business and they actually earned 26,000, recovering 2,000 and having 24,000 profit. There were 9 projects, 9 different groups were set up in this school, and every group was having profit. It can be 1,000 or say highest was 24,000, but every group was having some profit out of it. So this made us very confident. One student came up with the idea that two students were actually knew how to make paintings. So a set of 5 more students and 7 students coming together, they said, we have 2 artists. Let's take a role of market research. Let's take a role of then designing and packing and then selling. So they made a team of 7 people. They took 7,000 rupees from us. That time in the pilot phase, this seed money was for 1,000 rupees. So they took 7,000 rupees from the seed money and they invested that. They made a lot of paintings and they are making huge profit now out of that. One student said that I would like to do a business of sharing OTP passwords. So he started working on that and he's doing wonderful on that. One student said we'll make Bluetooth speakers. I know how to make it. So I think 3 or 4 students came together and they studied the raw material supply and they studied the market and they did a lot of online marketing and they are selling speakers online, produced by themselves. So this is a learning where our students are not only making profits, but the ultimate profit that is coming is a confident student, a critical student, ready to learn from the failures also. That's the ultimate learning. And as I said, it's not about one student now. The whole concept of this program is about the contribution to the economy of the country. If we don't have entrepreneurs in our country, we can't be a 5 trillion economy. We can never be a 5 trillion economy if we don't have entrepreneurs, more and more entrepreneurs in our country.
We have the 3rd largest number of entrepreneurs in the world as of now. Hopefully, we'll go to the 2nd and eventually the 1st. So that's really encouraging to see the kind of ideas the youngsters have these days. So with respect to that, I wanted to ask you, let's say somebody or some student due to lack of exposure is coming across some hindrance. Do we have some incubation centers or mentorship facilities under the Business Blasters program?
In Business Blasters, first of all, the entire class, the program is like that. The students will come up with their ideas. They'll form their groups and come with their ideas to invest and seek money from the school, X amount of number of students. Then the idea will be presented to the class. The class itself will become the first level of scrutiny team. They'll grill that idea and they'll help them to improve it. Then the teachers are being trained to help the students that how can you help the budding entrepreneurs there. Then those ideas, when they are getting some success, will provide them mentorship also. We have a plan to provide mentorship at 2nd stage.
Okay, because a lot of people, they tend to back out from any good business idea they might have because there is no guidance or they don't know how to go about it, especially with respect to the legalities involved in setting up a business.
You see, let me tell you one thing, that we are not here just to say that I'm having 3 lakh students in our schools at 11th and 12th grade. So I'm not saying that every student will set up some startup and then continue to work on that. I'm saying at this age, we are investing into your learning. You actually learn from that. It's not a book that you can learn from and then you can become entrepreneur. If you learn how to invest, how to learn from the failures, how to learn from the success, your own success and other success, then only we can become entrepreneurs. So we are helping them to learn how to become an entrepreneur and have entrepreneurial mindset. That's more important. Have entrepreneurial mindset is very important because you see, while opening this program, I was speaking on the on a program, and then I said that we have 25 crore people in our country who don't have home, who are houseless. And we have lakhs and lakhs of civil engineers in our country who are standing in front of the doors, who provide jobs. It could be PWD, it could be some construction company. You have lakhs and lakhs of civil engineers who are looking for jobs. You have 25 crore people living in the country who are houseless, homeless. So you have civil engineers, you have people who need home, but you are not building it because you don't have entrepreneurs. If you have entrepreneurs, then the civil engineers' capability can be utilized and homes can be provided and the problems can be solved. Both the problems can be solved. One, this much bigger population living in homeless condition, and then this much bigger population living in well-educated jobless condition. So both the problems you can solve if you have more and more entrepreneurs who are ready to think, who are ready to take risk, Here in our Business Plus2 program, we are teaching them to take risk.
Since you mentioned an interesting term called entrepreneurial mindset, in a country like India, we are usually taught to follow a conventional degree, take up a job. And entrepreneurship is something which is fairly new, say, to people of the generation who are in school and college now. How do you plan to convince the kids who are in a minor age group and their parents to give them some time away from studies and focus on something like building a company?
You see, I'm not asking them to build a company. I'm asking them to learn how to build a company, how to run a company. If you learn that, you can be a perfect employee for a company who is looking some leader to lead a team. But if you don't have an entrepreneurial mindset, no employer would love to hire you. So if you have entrepreneurial mindset, the employer will be running behind you. Please come to my company. If you don't have entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneur will say, okay, let me check. There are 20 biodata. I have to check whom to select. If you have entrepreneurial mindset, you have an edge over everybody. So first of all, it's going to help you in your job also. Not only help you, but jobs will start looking for you. It's not you are looking for a job. A. B. You don't become a liability for the country. A jobless person who is having highest of the degrees and not able to do anything, though there are so many problems, though the problems are looking for talent, you are not able to solve the problems, so you become a liability.
Yes, this talent and demand supply and all of these mismatches are fairly there in the news, and underemployed and unemployed, of course, is a big problem. So before we wind up for the day, I wanted to ask you, what are the positive steps that the Delhi government is doing, say, in general, to promote the education in the city?
As I said in the beginning, we have started with improving the infrastructure of government school system, because that was very shabby condition. It was messed up, totally messed up. So in 2015, when we started working with the infrastructure. Then we had a team of talented but demotivated teachers. So we started sending them for IIM trainings, we sent them for Cambridge trainings, Singapore trainings. Now we have a battery of teachers who are self-inspired now, and they are better in a position to do, and they're ready to do something new. Then we started working on improving the results, because result was the first thing that people look for in education. And after improving the results, now we are focusing on actual content of the education. That is very poor. Any student coming out of education, if he is not willing to do something where he can dare to do, he can do creatively, he can be more confident about doing something. So these curriculums like happiness curriculum and then entrepreneurship curriculum, and there are other things. We have set up a new board in Delhi, examination board, where IB is the partner in it. So this is first time in India that government schools are getting IB standard curriculum and IB standard examination board. So these are the key features I can say. And yes, this is the way to lay the foundation of a better society and better India.
Okay, sir. So it's really heartening to see the kind of new enterprises that the Delhi government is undertaking. So with that positive note, I'll take your leave for the day. Thank you, Mr. Sisodia, so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.